Right. You know, we talk a lot about entrepreneurs and small businesses that are trying to succeed in the city of Detroit and really try to get started. When we were over on the east side with some of our community conversations in Islandview, we found out about Nikki's ginger tea. They manufacture it over there on the east side. You can get it at Whole Foods. And we talked to them about how difficult it is to start up a kind of business like that, but now they're actually helping other businesses get started over on the east side.
A delivery run to Mudgie's Deli and Wine Shop in Corktown. They're restocking Nikki's Ginger Tea, a concoction freshly brewed in Islandview on Detroit's east side.
Hello. So Nikki's Ginger Tea, many years back, I was just outside of the restaurant somewhere and I tasted it somewhere else and I saved the bottle because the bottle had the phone number on it. And I called and brought it in here, fell in love with it. It's super gingery, it's always super fresh. It's an awesome thing. We're actually making cocktails with it now, and we've been with them now for at least 6 years.
Detroit has its ginger ale. You can find hot ginger tea you steep with a tea bag. But Nikki's Ginger Tea comes cold in a bottle with a kick of its own. Now the company is looking for more customers and expanding its product line.
We're reaching out to all of the cafes and coffee shops that are popping up all over the city of Detroit. And we're also in the early stages of talking about potentially working with Starbucks. So we have a lot of places to go.
Monique Sasser is the Nikki that's on the label. Her daughter Andrina helps run the operation. Back in the 90s, Monique's father found a good deal on ginger root at Eastern Market.
One day my grandfather brought home some ginger. And she said, "This is interesting." And she started experimenting with it.
That ginger root, I was so fascinated by its flavor, and I just kept experimenting. And at that time, I used lemons, limes, and honey.
And then she created this ginger tea.
It began 21 years ago in Monique's kitchen, where she created a startup before they called them startups.
I was across the street in my apartment, and then one of my friends said to me, "Well, Nikki, why don't you talk to your church about using the commercial kitchen?"
The Church of the Messiah near the Belle Isle Bridge became home base. Monique sold her ginger tea at Eastern Market. She still does today. When the economy tanked in 2009, her tea almost did too when their client base, local stores and restaurants, went under.
It's not for the faint heart, the weak at heart. It is not. You have to remain open, work hard, and never give up. There were days I wanted to give up, but I never did.
Andrina spent a year to get the local Whole Foods to carry their tea. She helped add new flavors to the product line.
We did get to a point where we had a mother-daughter battle, so to say. My mom is very creative, and she'll get in the kitchen and she'll just be mixing this and that.
I'm like a mad scientist in the lab. I refer to the kitchen as the lab.
And I'm like, so at one point I said, "Mom, you got to get out the kitchen. I have to come up with a solid recipe. I have to come up with solid nutrition facts. You got to get out the kitchen."
It's been very local, what they've been doing, and now they really want to expand beyond local. I mean, we need to go to the financials tomorrow.
Business consultant Sydney Cleveland is working on expansion plans.
As I try to help them to transition from being the person who's making the tea in the kitchen and bottling it and putting the labels on and doing all that work to actually running the business.
I always wanted to create something that was like an umbrella. You come along, you work with Nikki's Ginger Tea, we help you. We help back you. We help get your product out there too. So it shouldn't take you a year to get into Whole Foods. I did that work already. Let's work together. Let's grow together.
Now Nikki's Tea has become the anchor of a neighborhood business incubator.
And we love it. We love the camaraderie. These are my people.
Detroiter Beverly Bright makes candles. Her soy-based ginger tea candles are now part of the product line.
These are higher end. These are not your dollar store candles. These candles are the luxury of luxury.
Carla Quorm makes frozen treats on a stick. She's created a confection using Nikki's Ginger Tea.
And I've always wanted to make sorbet pops for Nikki's Ginger Tea, and when Carla explained to me what she does, I asked her would she like to experiment with us.
This is where I feel home at when I'm creating.
When Quorm lost her job in the mortgage business, she had to go to work for herself.
A lot of times they have really paved the way. It's 20 years and I've only been doing it for 2, so they know a lot more than I do, that where I don't have to bang my head on a wall, they're willing to share the information.
Now, Andrina and sister Catherine make ginger candy from leftover ginger root. They say it sells out at Eastern Market. Expansion plans have them moving somewhere else in the city. Not far, but Andrina says she'll always live in Islandview.
We've always been in this neighborhood. I've watched as homes that I played in as a little girl burn to the ground. Everybody else can run, but this is our home, this is our city. We have to stay, we have to make an impact. And this is our community. If we don't rebuild it, someone else will. And what a shame to see our community rebuilt and thriving, and we didn't have anything to do with it.